Hello, welcome everyone to the first of the Alapin games I will be playing today. We start off with Sicilian, so I'll respond with an Alapin, as just the number of open Sicilians is too much for me, and the Alapin has so far suited my taste. D4 is objectively slightly better, I think, but this just cuts down on the number of lines, as the best response would have been d5, and that transposes into if black had played d5 first. Okay, so I struggle with this line a bit, but I think the only move for advantage is to play e5 here. And then I should play bishop b5 here right now? I'm scared there's always some really early f6. I haven't recently studied on how best to combat that. The idea is I want to take on c6 and then eventually get a bind over the c5 square like this, which isn't possible if they take back with a bishop, so I am curious what the difference is here. Maybe I should have started with knight c3 to bait bishop g4 first? I'm not entirely sure. When black plays a6, I don't think I want to trade with the bishop here, but... And I think my knight might want to go here in case the bishop does change its mind. So I'll just castle for the moment. I should probably give a brief consideration to takes and then sacrificing with e6. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to control e5 enough to prevent e6, the e6 pawn pushing itself to e5. But perhaps. Let's think. Captures, e6, f takes e6, rook e1, queen c7. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think I really trust it. As like black's knight will just swing to h6 and f5, and the annoyance of the pawn isn't really felt. So let's just drop the bishop back to say I think black wants b5, so I would prefer not to put the bishop on e4. The bishop on d3 blocks the queen, and so I think it makes more sense to just go bishop e2. I might have ideas of doing this in the future, but perhaps not. Well, if the bishop is here, then I don't feel like it makes too much sense to put the knight here. Although the idea of swinging the knight in like this is somewhat appealing. Let's see. I can also just hop in like this as well though, so it's not too important. Such an early b5 doesn't feel correct, so I think I'll decide on knight c3 here. I don't want to get too low on time. We've seen how that ends already, I think, twice. Okay. This does rather seem like a sensible place to put the knight. The knight, although nice on c3, I don't think is doing much there. Bishop g5 is developing, but I feel like f6 is okay for black. In fact, black may want to play f6 anyway, so I'm not too enthusiastic on encouraging it. Okay, let's just a quick blunder check. I think that provoking either b6 now or later would be a nice thing for me. So I would argue that it's a good thing for me, with this losing its anchor. And I will probably try to set up with the pawns on a2 and b4. But this is not as nice as what I was hoping for at the outset. Okay. Yes, this is natural development. I am being given an opportunity to try and go after the bishop pair. And I feel somewhat obliged to go for it. Knight g7. It's not quite obvious how I should progress, but that does make sense to me. Bishop there. Sorry. So if I chase the bishop comes here, I attack it again. The pawn can always go to f4 in the future. I think that's good for me. My pieces are all sufficiently defended enough that I don't think I have anything to be scared of. It's somewhat bold, but I suppose I could try to go for g4 here and f3 trying to trap the bishop. It's maybe a bit too bold though. And it would have made more sense if I played instead something like knight e1. Okay, so I planned f3 here. I suppose knight f5 is possible. It seems very... doesn't feel like it should work, but I suppose it must. Take the bishop, take the knight. I feel like this should be okay for me. And then I drop the knight back. It seems unpleasant for black. This seems like a less good version of whatever was going on before. I also have the option of just defending the knight this time. And I might just let myself have that. Takes the bishop, takes the knight, takes on d5. Oh, d4 is not protected enough. Queen e1, I think just the bishop comes to c2, and I'm not happy with that. Taking on g6, the bishop takes back. So let's sort that out. If I just play g3 though, I do give myself the retreat square of g2. And with the pawns in a pyramid like this, I think I'm fine. So, yeah, this seems okay. It's a very strange way to be playing, but I'm not saying anything directly incorrect. Okay. I probably should snatch the bishop now, trying to go for g4. Does hang the knight, and if I play knight g2, h5 will come. And I think just after h5, it's a bit too greedy of me to continue like this. But yeah, I don't think either capture's too nice for black. I can't exactly take advantage of the opening of the file, but this way seems not so good. Let's think about queen e1 immediately. It seems fine, but not devastating or anything. Okay. I suppose I need to take care of this diagonal being somewhat weak. I'll try putting the knight here and setting up a3, b4. This pawn is responsible for both of these, so I should not lose track of that. Yeah, my opponent is quick to point this out, I guess. Also defending on this sideways. I feel like f4 makes sense. My bishop isn't really going to be doing much on this flank anyway. Might be more suited to trying to go around this way. I liked this. I didn't believe in this. F6 is logical, but it seems risky for... Yeah, definitely don't mind this. I like the pressure this bishop is putting here, but it might be worth just throwing this check in. The king isn't really worse off on any particular square though yet. I think I'm pretty happy with either capture this way. If I take here, as I'm loath to ever take... This is definitely a problem for me, but... It becomes too annoying to try and take advantage of. Okay, I will just develop protecting the knight indirectly, as I can recapture this way, or the other way, and there's no tactic. I think it's okay to try and just attack this knight. Definitely have to pick up the pace a bit with my time reserves falling somewhat though. I think I am winning a pawn though if there's not a good solution to this. Jumping forwards, not available. Chop chop. If queen here or here, if queen here or queen here, I take on e6, and that's most certainly a disaster for black. If I take with the knight, then rook b8 and check. Oh, the knight defense, which is annoying. So I might just go for the pawn. I'm pretty fine with an endgame, just because I'm so low on time. If rook b8 here, then I have bishop takes a6, defending afterwards. e4 would be annoying, but yeah, it's hard. Which way to capture? I don't really believe in e4 though. In d4 though. So I feel like I should. I do feel like I should go for this way. It feels, I think, better. I can't quite explain it. I think f takes as well was good though. Okay, unfortunately, here comes the messy part. So if I take here, there's a knight attacking the bishop. I can't throw this in because of this knight. Always when I have the least time. How I rotate you. I do like knight c5 though. I just attack both of these pawns. This is fine, I think. Have to save the bishop, passed pawn, which is nice. I'm still up a pawn. When did that happen? I thought material was equal somehow. Presumably king f7 or e7 to protect the pawn. And this way. I think I can force the rook out, as this square I can go d3. The knight's defended. Oh, my opponent might have a really fancy knight takes e5 here. Knight takes, rook takes, check here. It feels a bit too loose, but it might work, I guess. Well, okay, fine. There's no immediate threat. Just push the pawn. I don't want to spend too long on this. Maybe just bishop b5 next. As much as I dismiss this pawn earlier, it is Black's best asset at the moment. The bishop dropping to here seems appropriate. Okay. Well, now the knight's no longer here, I do want to do this. Possibly some idea of this, but there's too much tension on everything. I somehow missed this. I can just save everything that I would check, exchange, bishop b5. I do just want to diffuse the... Yeah, okay. Bishop b5 immediately also, I think, is to my favor. Bishop b5. Yeah, it looks fine. I'm defending everything enough. I probably was better off now just taking here and then this bishop c5, and that knight does not have that many squares. Okay, well, I still don't believe in this. Now this knight is going to be annoying. I think my bishops though, they control a lot of squares, and this bishop is not much of a bishop. Alapin, I threaten the knight. Probably with this bishop so out of play, exchanging off the rook and a knight is enough to push the pawn through. And a single knight is hardly going to be enough of an escort for this pawn. Knight this way. I should just simplify. This pawn is hard to stop, this pawn is not hard to stop. I control this square, and this square, and this square. I think this makes the most sense. But then just this, and I get more pieces off. I thought I could just take here and play bishop c here. Oh, I missed this. That's annoying. This is a concern, I guess. My king is close enough, I think I can do this. Especially if they move the king over here. Okay. I control this square twice, which is more than black will ever be able to master. And I want to play this next. Okay, I want to chase away the knight. If knight here, pawn here, Takes, defending the bishop. Should be winning. Takes, check. Back on the pawn with defense. But if I just don't take it. Oh dear. Not check. Here. On the bishop. I would guess probably be a... I might be winning this. Unfortunately for black. Definitely some luck involved for me here. But this is difficult to stop. Then knight here. Oh, this check is... okay. Resistance till the very end. And 2 pawns up is maybe too many pawns up though. I would hope at least. Check. Good game. So, I think probably I was always better, but yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, I know white is meant to have an advantage here. Knight c3 first. Bishop d7 doesn't make sense by that by itself. And then bishop g4, bishop b5. It feels more accurate, but it might not be. Black seems rather fine like this. I feel like the knight coming to h6 is more scary in general. Well, not scary, but it just makes more sense than knight on e7. It's like these knights not so scary. I don't have the energy to play another game immediately after the previous. We might see each other in the pool later, but... Like, I think I probably have a reasonable advantage. No, probably just only a small advantage. Black is very solid here. But still has to be an advantage nonetheless. f6 here seems, I guess, premature just with how I ended up having pressure. And I am a pawn. Oh, that's where the other pawn came from. And I'm objectively just up a pawn this entire time. Knight b4. A lot scarier than... Yeah, I think this might have been very good for... This seems a pawn better than what we had in the game, so I don't think black could complain over this. Yeah, king f8 is most definitely a wasted tempo. Like knight d4 instead. Very hard to stop this. Well, here we both sacrifice our bishops, but still, I have to try and win the pawn-up knight in game as compared to the 2 pawn-up knight game. Here, I think I am winning. The extra tempo definitely helped me. This might be okay, but it feels dubious. Like this, tempo. I might be fine just because of the king, but yeah. Forcing the check. Okay, if they'd given check on the other side instead, not legal. But of course, with no longer control over this square, well, of course, it's better than what happened for them. But I imagine this is probably why they gave the check on this side. And this, I think, should be winning just because 2 pawns is 2 pawns. I had a chance for check, but just bringing the king is simpler. And yeah, that should be game. Oh no, they had that one tactic, and Black had the endgame win. Very bumpy. No surprise here. D5 is normal. D5, yep. Bishop E5 is the top move. The likes of Nepomniachtchi playing this. I'll have to check this further with the engine, but okay, Bishop B5 is the best start. Why is Knight C3 not so good? I thought this was good for Rook C8. No. Engine's still not a fan. Interesting. Bishop B5, Bishop D7, Knight C3, okay. E6, what about E6? Bishop E8. Engine is quite content to have this position. I'll explore more some other time. I have come across this position quite a bit, so I think definitely worth some more exploration. Yep, Black's had this classic rubber band tactic, and this, and then this, which wins a pawn. Though amusingly enough, there is no advantage for Black, probably because the C5 pawn is pretty strong. Again, the engine is quite content to go for this trade. I don't quite understand why. Like, I think of this bishop as my good bishop compared to the central pawns. But perhaps this bishop is bad and this bishop is also bad. It's strange for me. Yeah, the f6 break and knight h6, like I suggested for Black, I think better than what happened. The engine likes bishop g4, but it's not very human to be playing bishop f5 followed by bishop g4. Although it does remind me of that World Championship game where bishop g4 and bishop d7 happened. Engine really a fan of h3. The only threat... Oh, just g4. That does make sense. Just trapping the bishop. It's incredibly funny. The engine likes to play against the backwards pawn, or even after this transformation. It's a lot of different things to evaluate from either, so it probably doesn't feel quite comfortable. Yeah, knight e1 with the whole trapping the bishop makes a lot more sense here, I think. Second option. Some similarities to the Caro-Kann. Knight d7, castle, knight e7, c3. And it won't be that uncommon for... Okay, let's play a4, something like g5. Well, sometimes we have g5 and then knight u1, f4 is not uncommon. And the whole idea of knight e1 just seems familiar. This central structure, of course, is quite similar. Carry bishop, a French pawn chain. Yeah. This is amusing. Just tactics work. Wait, it's just a pure sacrifice of a piece? That's... Okay, perhaps not then. It is nice to see g3 being the best move, despite it looking so up. Bishop b3, queen takes e. This didn't seem very pleasant for me. It seems more pleasant now, of course, with the engine, but this was not appealing. g5, I was thinking of doing knight g2, but the engine preferred this. What? What is this? Okay. Okay, Stockfish. That's incredibly funny. The engine does like just taking off the bishop the most, which is gratifying to see. Yeah, knight c5 ended up being a bit of a target, although the engine wants bishop f8, so... which is not very human. So I wouldn't fault myself very much for this. What's the idea here? Oh, just... yeah, that makes sense. Bishop takes, a5, queen a4 check, queen e7, queen king f8. That king is not safe on e8. Both of these make sense. I won't quibble too much. Engine does like the throwing of the check. I suppose this is pretty dangerous for black. It's a missed opportunity there. Black's position is, I think, quite difficult to play there, so... Here I'm definitely getting low on time, so I just decided to try to do in-game. And that in-game was a lot trickier than I was hoping, so... not ideal. Let's see, 5. Nice. Get the check instead. My bishop ended up being a target for knight e4 here, and that would just not be the case. Much better than the game. Much easier to play, I think. Rook fb1, best. It feels best as well, so that's nice. Trying to trade on the own terms. A3 is probably a lot more sensible, just trading off the rooks. Forcing it. Yeah, if I was in the trade everything into a winning pawn up endgame, A3 makes a lot more sense than A4. Yeah, I'm low on time, so I just simplified it, but A3 was a better way of simplifying. I mean, I just don't believe in D4. It did end up being slightly scary. Trade the rooks. Yeah, there's always going to be fancy tactics. But if they don't work, I'm down a piece, so I want you to do simple simplifying. Push the pawn. I expected knight c7. I was going to go bishop d3. Ooh, not even as a blunder. Yeah, it definitely felt like black had chances here. In fact, the ending does say black was fine. And then even winning. Oops. Bishop e4, because c6 could be met by... But importantly, there's no tempo on the bishop. Yeah, black sold themselves back into a good position, and then they did. Pawn here, just yeah, not good for me. I would have had to do this. Yep, this. I would have expected this. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, bishop c5 check. Is this not... Wow, great. Yeah, I guess I have to take the pawn. Why is this good for... No, this is good for me. This is good for black because the pawn is... Much like I can't attack... I couldn't push the pawn through, I can't attack the pawn conveniently. This is an engine line. Might be what I very much expected here. This check. Yeah, threw away with any drawing chances. Although apparently black was winning, so I stand corrected. Yeah. Very much kind of rushed it. Quite beautiful. And then I have to stop the pawn. So the difference if you go here first, is that I'm on this diagonal, that makes sense. There wasn't any rush to attack the knight anyway, so... Especially with the whole me being happy on either of these squares. Yeah, my opponent, I think, pushed too hard on the clock because they had a winning opportunity there. I would not have been too surprised if they found something winning. It's just somewhat funny that he spent too long trying to flag me. Yeah, defending this, there's no stopping this. I thought this was good for... Oh, the fork. Yeah, the king fork. Does win for white. Somewhat disappointing to, like... I know I'm down for a minute, but I should calculate more than this. Unfortunately. Not a very quality game, and the finish is unsurprising. Overall, opening went okay. Middle game, I just maybe just too slow as usual. Like, look at these move types. It's crazy. Like, to be down to within 3 minutes at this point, it's a winning position. Like, can I put myself as winning? It's a hard question to answer. My moves are good, just accept when I don't have enough time. This, I think, still winning position, I'm fine with it. This, like, when my opponent has two pieces, I should see everything those two pieces can do. I shouldn't be blind to even, like, bishop c5 check, which I didn't even account for. Things worked out, but not due to skill. 65% accuracy, yeah. It's hard to argue with all the presented evidence. More notably with about a minute left on the clock. Well, a good hit. I will take a break and perhaps play the second half of the MC.